Hello everyone and welcome to another What I Think review, and today we're going to be reviewing another Doctor Who magazine. This is the deluxe edition of issue 547. Now, I've already opened this to get a look inside. I'm very pleased with it, but I've put it all back in here because I want to illustrate the one issue I have with this. And the reason I want to illustrate this issue is because due to the nature of the issue, I can't believe I'm the only person who's run into this problem. And the problem, in short, is this here, this gap, specifically here, because whilst this magazine contains a huge amount, I mean, it's got a 32-page supplement of reprints of past masters, mainly Roger Delgado comics, a huge double-sided poster which is massive, a set of art cards, or a one art card, sorry, I should say, it's just the one, not a set. 3 Big Finish audio dramas to download, which is Master, Omega and Davros. I already have those, I've listened to them, they are absolutely brilliant. And we have a Big Finish sticker set, and then we have this exclusive 76-minute CD featuring 22 classic and rare tracks from the classic series, which is absolutely fantastic, and obviously the magazine as well. So it's brilliant that we've got all of that, absolutely brilliant. But the problem is, because this is so action-packed, it is quite literally bursting to capacity, because what actually happened is I went and bought this from my local WH Smith where they're sold, the deluxe editions, got it home, opened it to find that the CD, the art card and the sticker set was missing. It wasn't in there. And what had happened is I'd noticed that, and when I got home, is this side, you can see this one's starting to do it already, this side had split open, and I can only guess that what had happened was that the CD, the art cards and the stickers had fallen out. So, as I said, I wouldn't normally, make such a sort of gripe about this kind of thing, but I can't believe I'm the only person who has encountered this issue, simply because it does mean that the packet this comes in is not big enough to contain everything. So I have to just make a point, I really do have to, because I have paid for this, to say to Doctor Who magazines, for £9.99, it's great that we're getting all of this, but you do need to take a bit more care when you're putting these together, because I know you've got to make them, to fit in this packet, this amount, and obviously paper, making these paper ones are, these paper holders, if you want to call them, rather than using a plastic bag, is obviously very environmentally friendly, but, it's a shame that I had to go back down. I was very, very fortunate that my local WH Smith was very understanding, allowed me to exchange it and check everything was in this one, but it does mean that, these are going out with not, a huge amount of quality control, and I know it's just a magazine, but, and I know some people are going to turn around and say, what do you, it's just a magazine, at least you got it changed, but the point is I did get it changed, but my local WH Smith it's very rare that I managed to get one of these from my local WH Smith. They sell out so quickly, so I was very lucky that there was another one there. If there hadn't been another one there, I would have had to have gone through probably Doctor Who magazine, WH Smith, to try and get a replacement, which I might not have gotten. So, a little bit more care and attention from Doctor Who magazine in the future of these deluxe editions, making sure that, that they are packaged correctly, because it is, like I said, it is something which I know seems a very small thing to gripe about, but as I said, just purely because the first one I had already split and this one is splitting, I can't be the only person who's encountered this. So, but that, I'm happy to say, is the only gripe I've got with this. So let's get into this and see what we've got, because as I said, it is incredibly action-packed. There's so much, it's difficult to get it in this insert. So we have our CD with music, which is absolutely fantastic. There's a list, I don't know how easily I can, if that's going to come up on camera, because my camera doesn't want to do automatic focusing for the moment. Hopefully you can see that, but I'll quickly read it off. We have Doctor Who, The Unearthly Child theme, so the original Doctor Who theme, The Space Adventure Part 2, first used in the 10th Planet, Universe Side Rowl, used in Tomb of the Cybermen, track from the Ice Warriors, the Space-Time Music Part 2, using the Web of Fear, Mr. Oak and Mr. Quill from Fury of the Deep, the Croton theme from the Crotons, music from the Seeds of Death, Blue Veils and Golden Sands used in Infernos, the Master's theme from The Mind of Evil, Carnival of Monsters music, Planet of the Spiders music, Android Invasion music, Antarctica the First Pod from the Seeds of Doom music from the Sunmakers, Into Argolis from the Leisure Hive, the Sonic Booster from the Visitation, March of the Cybermen from Earthshock, music from Mark of the Rani, Remembrance of the Daleks and Ghostlight, and Somewhere Else, The Tea's Getting Cold, the final track from the final scene of Survival, the last Doctor Who story. Obviously, this is also advertising music from the original run, a CD that is obviously coming out, or different ones. Looks like there's lots of different ones, because over here we've got a Sunmakers, and over here we've got Visitation CDs. But it's a nice little thing to have, even just as a, as a giveaway. It's fantastic to have, because I've got the 50th anniversary music collection, which has got, I think, actually all of these, with the possible exception of a couple, already on there. But for those who don't have it, this is a brilliant sort of giveaway for people to love the classic music, because the classic music is certainly fantastic, so it's lovely to see that included. Obviously, we have the magazine itself. Here, there be Monsters, Hotel Horror for the Doctor, so we've got some exclusive previews of episodes, interviews with Bradley Walsh, and obviously very comprehensive, lots of stuff in there. I won't go through the whole thing, obviously, because I don't necessarily want to spoil it for people who want to get it themselves, but it's always really comprehensive. As some of you will know, I make a point, I don't get Doctor Who magazine myself, but I have started specifically getting the deluxe editions, which just makes it easier for me to collect, and it's obviously cheaper as well, because obviously I'm not getting a subscription. But every time I do look through Doctor Who magazine, I always sort of do think, it's kind of very tempting to get a subscription. So if you're considering getting a subscription, I would say it's worth it. For me personally, I'm happy just doing the deluxe editions, but it is something that is well worth getting a subscription for, because there's so much in it. It really is, and it's certainly something which I think a lot of people will. If you enjoy the show, you'll enjoy reading through the magazine. That's the simple fact. Next, we have the art card. It says art card. It's more like a mini poster rather than a card, because it's not very cardy. What have we got on the back? Just Doctor Who magazine with an advert. But it is a nice picture. That is a lovely, lovely picture. I do like that promo picture, and that's certainly one that would be nice to have framed. So I've got a few framed Doctor Who prints. I might include that to my collection. We have the poster here, which is a poster. Obviously, this one, as you can see, I'm trying to work out the best way to open this so you can see what's on it. One side we have the 13th Doctor on her bike, and then the other side I think is the 13th Doctor. I mean, that just alone is a brilliant poster, but obviously we've got the whole thing. Now that's a really nice poster, I have to say. I certainly prefer that to the 13th Doctor on the bike. Not that that's not a bad shot, but I do like that, the other side of it. So that is one, again, I'm looking at that thinking that would be lovely to get framed. So it's a nice little freebie to have there. And then here we have the collection of master comic strips. So we've got The Glen of Sleeping, first published in 1973. Fogbound, first published in 1973. Man in the Iron Mask, first published in 1991. And The Character Assassin, first published in 2001. Lovely sort of varies of art styles. We've got some in colour, others in black and white. But they all seem to be featuring the Delgado Master, which is nice. But I quite like the idea that Doctor Who magazine is going to make this a bit of a running theme, past Masters classic comic strips, because I don't know if they are going to, I have to say, but if they do, I think it would be a brilliant thing to see, because it would certainly get a lot more fans into the expanded media, because obviously a lot of people listen to Big Finish and read novels, but I don't think that many people probably read many of the comics. And as you will know from my brief histories that I've done, there's quite a lot of lore in the comics, so I certainly hope this becomes something which they continue to do in future, because I would certainly love to see more comics featuring classic masters, especially, because I think it's certainly something that would be very brilliant. And next, I've got to do this carefully, because I have to put my thumb across there, because that is the code at the top for the Big Finish stories. But this is the sticker set we've got from Big Finish sticker set. So we've got Big Finish We Love Stories at the top, Edwardian Adventurous, I'm Lucy Bleeding Miller, which is certainly my favourite out of all of these, I Double Heart 8, Warp, 6E is Sexy, that's certainly an interesting one, Stop Don't Move, that's just a Doctor Who catchphrase, Joe is Making a Thing, is that Joe is Making a Thing? I think that is just Joe is making a thing, which is certainly an interesting one. We've got a black cat, which I'm guessing is a 6th Doctor one. Daleks do not sing for some reason. That's obviously, I'm guessing some of these are from, like the Scorchies, for example. I have no idea what Big Finish story that's from, but I'm guessing it's from one of them. And then in the bottom corner we've got the 10th Doctor, Alonzi. I really do love the Lucy Bleeding Miller one. I think that's a brilliant one to have. So let's try and bring everything back in for a final shot. So yeah, this is a magazine well worth getting. So to be fair, so have been all of the deluxe editions I've got so far. There's a lot in them, and it's something that I really think are well worth getting. I can't really get all of this in shot, so you'll have to excuse me for having a slightly lopsided final shots. But yeah, it is something which I think is well worth investing in, well worth getting these, because you get so much in them. For $9.99, it really is a brilliant little thing, especially if you don't buy Doctor Who magazine that often. The deluxe edition, getting these every now and again, is certainly fantastic. I certainly enjoy reading through these and all the freebies you get with it, so I certainly hope everyone else does as well. But as always, that brings to a close another what I think review. So as always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. Make sure to go to the description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.